One of these images feels like a snapshot. The other feels like a photograph. Can you tell why? They're shot just 10 minutes apart. Same camera, same lens, same location. Yet one feels accidental, the other intentional. And the difference is in 4 decisions you make before you press the shutter. The first is deciding what your photo is about. Scene 1 went like this. Oh, there's something interesting here. Click. You get multiple things competing, and it's totally unclear what actually matters in the shot. Now scene 2. This photo is about the boats, specifically this one bottom left, and everything else supports that choice. That's decision 1. What is this photo about? Not everything in the frame, what's the thing? Choose one thing and commit to it, and then build your frame around it. You can make this decision slowly or in a fraction of a second. Street photographers do it fast constantly. It's not about fast or slow, but deciding what matters before you shoot. Now, this doesn't mean you can only have one thing in the frame. It means one thing is the primary subject. Everything else is context, supporting that primary subject. The question is, when someone looks at this photo, what do I want them to see first? The second decision is what's around my subject. Even with a subject decided, if you're only focused on that, it's still going to feel like a snapshot. Whatever's in the background just is, and the edges are wherever the frame happens to land. What you want to do is check the entire frame before shooting, all the way to the edges for distracting bits of information. High contrast, bright colors, anything that pulls you away from what's important. Then look behind your subject. Your background either supports it or distracts. And ask yourself, does my subject stand out? If your subject is light, position it against something dark. If it's dark, position it against something light. That contrast is what will make it pop. And if your subject is overlapping busy elements, reposition to a different angle. Your subject needs separation to stand out. Now, sometimes busy is the background you want, but the point is that you're choosing it, not just accepting whatever happens to be there. Decision 3. Is this the right angle? Let's talk working the scene. Sometimes I nail the angle on the first try, but a lot of the time I have to experiment and move around to find the right shot. Check out this progression from the first snapshot to the final photo. Image 1 was the first perspective I saw when I got to the location. Once I decided my subject, I tried different vantage points until I found a much more dynamic angle that allowed my subject to stand out in an interesting way. Try getting up high, get down low, look through something, a point of view that's different from the first one that comes to mind. In some cases, that first angle might be the best angle, but the key again is that you're choosing it, not defaulting. And if you have time to move, you explore other options. The final piece that makes this image work is this bird in the top right. Look what happens when I remove it. The energy completely shifts. The image goes still. I knew there were birds in the area from other shots I had taken. So I composed the frame, the bird flew in, and I reacted. I had to. The moment lasted maybe 2 seconds. For this photo, I wanted to bring out the energy in the sunset I was feeling in real time, so I needed some dynamic movement. And that was that bird. And that's decision 4. Not just capturing what's there, but what it should feel like. And that comes through with timing and capturing moments. It can be birds, a person walking, a shift in the light, but it's that climactic moment when the scene comes together that you click the shutter. Sometimes you have to wait, sometimes it happens while you're shooting, but you have to be ready for it. Now, if you're shooting something that doesn't have movement and you don't want birds or people, say a building, a still life, or a landscape, that moment is about light. It's waiting for that cloud to clear, for the sun to hit the edge of the building, or for the wind to stop so the water goes still. The moment isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle, but there's always a version of the scene that's more alive than the others. And that's what you're waiting for. movement or otherwise. In this case, the bird also works compositionally. It fills that empty space in the water, it's high contrast, so it reads well, and the lines of the dock guide your eye toward it. Now you might be thinking, wait, doesn't the bird pull away from the boats? Multiple points of interest are fine when they're intentional. It's totally okay to have more than one thing to look at. It lets your eye explore the frame. The boats create the environment, the bird creates the moment, and they work together to make the photo what it is. The idea is simple. Where does your eye land first? That's your subject. And then where does it go next? That's your secondary interest. The difference between a snapshot and a photograph isn't what you shoot or how fast you shoot it. It's about making intentional choices. So before your next shot, pause and ask yourself, what is this photo about? Choose one thing. What's around it? Check the entire frame. Is this the right angle? Don't just accept the first position. And what should this feel like? Look for that moment that brings it to life. Those 4 decisions turn snapshots into photographs. Not your camera, not your settings, your choices. And with enough practice, they become instinct. You'll find more breakdowns just like this in this video, all about finding your style in photography. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this, where I show the entire process of working toward the final image. I have quite a few of these worth sharing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.